And now what about the rides? Because, I want to go through some of the different stuff because by us, they would have the rides would come, right?
Oh, yeah.
The fair would come. We were excited. We lived right down the street from the fairground. So we'd walk over there. And the day before the fair, you could go and for 50 cents, you could get on a ride, but they were just plugging them bitches in.
Yeah, man. And you were the test subjects.
Oh, dude, you would.
Somebody's going flying off.
Oh, the zipper, we go in that. Dude, you remember the zipper?
Zipper's my favorite ride.
Oh, bro. I'd get all my money. I'd have saved up my allowance. I would go down there because the day before, because if you went regular day, it was $8 to get in.
Yeah.
We're like, fuck that, dude. I got $2. I'm going in there. I got my quarters in my pockets. But the zipper would shake all your money out of your pockets.
They did that on purpose.
Oh, dude, it was horrible. I'd get out. I had no more money. I had to vomit. It was shake. I remember it shook a couple of my teeth, like my baby teeth out or whatever. I was like,
I believe it.
Yeah, you get out. You had no enamel. You had no money.
Yeah, because they could really get it going when they want. They know how to run it, so they could like really get you whipping around and drop it.
It was it was unbelievable, dude. It literally felt like you'd been put in the garbage disposal.
Yep.
That was a tough ride.
I loved it.
Did you?
Yeah, it was my favorite one.
Really?
Yeah. What was cool though, when I was a kid in school, and you would go on field trips to the fair. I don't know if you guys did that at your school, but we would take field trips to the Topsfield Fair when we were in grade school. But I would skip that day of school, and I would just go to the carnival, the fair with my father, and the rides weren't open yet. They kind of were only there to supposed to be going to the 4-H stuff and all the agricultural stuff. And so I would go over and sneak over grab my friends from their chaperones and bring them over to the rides. And the ride guys would let us all ride the rides while rest of the school was at the 4-H section.
Oh, that's nice.
So it was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, because you were kind of dialed in, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew everybody. They all looked out for me. I was like, oh, it's little Mitch. Like I knew it because I was running around as a little kid, so everybody, knew.
And they would cop you a little bit of drugs or something sometimes.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I mean, it was wild.
Dude, we would get on the Gravitron, right?
The Gravitron was great. We would throw so many parties in that at night.
Bro, one guy we get in there, right? And I remember like that you would get against the thing and it would like slowly move you up the wall and start spinning. And there was a guy in the middle who's like, are you ready to rock? I'm like, who the fuck is he talking to, right? This guy was always just in his own world, bro. Yeah. And the thing was spinning. And I swear one time this dude got his wiener, like was just showing his wiener to people who were and he was playing, nice day for a white wedding. And you couldn't even turn so even though you felt like you were visually being molested or whatever, you couldn't turn your head to look and see if anybody else knew what was going on. So you get off and everybody was just afraid to say, I think we just seen that guy's wiener, to November Rain,
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
And there was some parts of it were nice when they would play some of the ballads in there, but
yeah.
That was harrowing going in there.
Yeah, that ride's pretty crazy. Sometimes the guy would get out. If you got a really wild guy, he would get out and he would come, because how they had the fence and hang on the pole. Yeah, dude, and walk and hang and pull himself around it and go back in while the ride was running. You're like, what is this guy doing?
Yeah, the dude would be he would walk. He could even walk around the thing.
Yeah, you have to hold on to the railing, but he could walk around it. Yeah.
Oh my God, I forgot about that. Yeah, he kind of was like the guy at the skating rink that kind of was like with the like the dude who would go through and do the backwards skating,
try to show off,
and like skate through your girlfriend's legs or whatever. You're like, who the fuck is this guy? Yeah, it like kind of reminded me of that guy, Oh, here he is right here. This is somebody on a Gravitron. There's somebody trying to sit up on it.
Yeah, he's trying to push it up on his own. Yeah, or something. We used to like flip ourselves upside down and be upside down in there against the wall.
Yeah.
You could move all around.
Oh, wow. Yeah, we didn't know. We were too small to do some of this. This is like late teens. Oh, that kid looks about our size.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he's standing straight out.
Oh, yeah, this dude vapes.
Do you remember the Sky Master?
The Sky Master?
Yeah, or they call it the Apollo sometimes. It was two...
yeah, like two boats, it almost looked like.
But they would go upside down, so you were closed in. And they swung like this. They were opposite. They would swing opposite of each other, and then they'd go upside down. And sometimes they would hold you up there.
Yeah.
And hold you while you're upside down. And you could shake it and like shake everybody's money out of their pockets. Oh, yeah, there it is.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was for the big kids. I don't think I went on this at the time.
Yeah. I used to run that sometimes. So it was really easy to tear down and set up. And sometimes I would run it, and you're in the doghouse, and it's just a remote control, like a little joystick. You get it going, you rock it back and forth until you get enough energy to get it up and around, and you can hold it up there. And you'd hold it, and you just shake it a little bit and wiggle it so it would go back and forth a little bit, and you start shaking the money out of their pockets so it all falls down. Although one time there was a bad scene, because you're always supposed to wait till the end of the ride to go pick up the money. Well, a kid who ran it all the time was trying to be a daredevil, and he ran through to get the money while the ride was while he was up top. Ended up getting hit. Oh yeah, it was pretty wild. He lived. He did live.
Wow.
But it was a mess. I wasn't there at that carnival or fair when it happened, but I was at the next one.
And you lose a limb, they put you just right over in a freak show.
Yeah, now you go right to the freak show.
That thing punts you right
or
over
you,
the
or you
damn
could be in a
freak
game
show,
after
dude.
that too, because you can work a game with one arm.
Yeah.
Or in a wheelchair.
Wow. So a guy got damaged up pretty good?
Yeah, he got hit pretty good.
Damn.
It was pretty crazy.
Is that one of the worst accidents you've ever seen out there?
That was probably the worst, yeah. We were running that skydive at one time, and how you got the shoulder bars that come down? It had let go while the girl was in there. But you're caged in still too, but she was flopping around while it was going around. While she was upside down, the shoulder bars came up, and she fell into the cart and
Just getting banged around.
Just getting banged around while it was spinning around.
And how long if somebody's not doing well on a ride can you shut it down for them? Does it take a few seconds?
Yeah, it'll take sometimes. Some take longer than others to slow down and come to a stop. Wow. Yeah, I mean, there was one, the Freak Out. I don't know if you've heard of the Freak Out.
The Freak Out?
Yeah, it's a pretty dope ride now. Now that's my favorite ride, I'd
Really?
say, out of all of them.
Let me see.
Kind of like it's an arm, and it's got these other arms that come down, and those spin while it goes back and forth, and you get an awesome sense of weightlessness, almost like a roller coaster, I'd say. Like that first drop, there it is.
Freak Out. Ooh, that's pretty cool looking. Yeah, they didn't have the Freak Out. Oh, so that goes like a pendulum and spins?
And spins, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
dude, I remember, we would get on that swing. So one of them was like a swing set you just faced out.
Yeah, the swinger.
Yeah, and it would people would be vomiting. Like people would be like standing watching you, and then literally you come around and just splash them, baby. Just dose them up with that tummy skeet, baby, that vomit.
You got to wash up a lot of puke on some of those rides. They get a lot of pukers. We had one, I don't even remember the official name of the ride, but we called it the puke barrel.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying, dude. You guys were making shit up.
Yeah, that was the name of it, the puke barrel. I was like, okay, I don't even know the official name.
And what ride caused the most vomit, you think?
The puke barrel.
Really?
Probably. It was it looked like one of those metal 55-gallon drums, those metal like garbage can barrels, but it was huge.
Okay, yeah.
And so it was massive, and say it was on its side. And you go in, it had a sliding door, and you go in, and then there were two seats that people could sit in, circle seats, and those spun like this while the floor rocked back and forth like this, and the outside barrel spun like this with strobe lights going on inside. I mean, who's not going to puke? No, but I'll be honest with you though, the carnival rides are a lot safer than probably amusement parks.
Really?
Yeah, because they get inspected every week. So you're getting state inspectors every single week. Every time you set up, they have to come in and give it a go ahead.
So what's the worst accident you've ever seen out there?
So that was, I didn't see the kid get hit by the Skymaster, but that was probably the worst. Although at one fair that I was at Topsfield Fair, I forget the name of the ride, but somebody did come flying out of it, but they didn't die. I wish I could remember the ride.
But they always say those people didn't die, but you never see those people anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
Or like they'll be like, Janet didn't die, and they're like, well, then why isn't? Yeah,
where is she?
Yeah.
Oh, she went to Florida. She retired.
Yeah, she retired. She's 11.
Yeah.
Where did she? So that's just the thing I think sometimes about that kind of stuff that seems like a little bit tricky, man. Where you're
I was saying, they do inspect them a lot more than like your regular amusement parks, that are just set up year round. They only get like 1 or 2 inspections a year.
Oh yeah.
And so, but the carnival, like they have to get state inspected every week, every time you set up in a new place.
So, okay. Wow, I did not expect that.
Yeah.
Because it seems like they're not even.
You know where the shady part comes in is where, like, say something breaks or something happens during the week, and then it gets fixed, not up to par.
In between inspections. And you just got to have the ride. You got to have it going. You got to make the money.
Yeah. And then so you have your main ride guys. So all the ride foremen have to do a once inspection every day. And they have to fill out a form and say they inspected their ride. I mean, but.
Yeah.
And then you have the ride super who's in charge of all those guys.
And is he, yeah, but it's like how if they're locked in, cool. If they're not, then it's whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could be a ride. Yeah. If I was a ride super dude.
You're like, yeah, okay. You just take the forms. You're like, yep, everything's fine.
Yeah.
Or, you know.
Yeah. People ain't going to be, everybody not going to be living if I'm a ride super. To be honest, and no offense to anybody. And what about, take me into, so I feel like that's kind of the rides. I'm trying to think of any more of the rides that the zipper was just harrowing. I know I would get on it and I'll be like, I'm not getting on it this year because last year I got hurt and I don't have any more money or whatever, and I got electrocuted. And
you got electrocuted.
Oh, dude, I got electrocuted because that was one of the big things. Is one time I got off of, I think it probably was the zipper. I got off and I touched. I've told this story before. I've touched the two like metal bars you're getting off of, like the stair bars or whatever, and it completed a circuit, and I just. Bro, got lit and I couldn't let go, right? And some guy working the ride behind me, it was a black gentleman. He called me, he's like, get moving. And I was like, I can't. And then he just fucking kicked me right in the back, dude. I think he even called me the N-word, but I think he kicked me in the back. And thank God he did. Yeah. Because I was just like part of the I was just completing the circuit. I was just probably powering a fucking lantern or something down the street. Yeah. Yeah. Whatever I was doing, dude, it was unhealthy for me.
Yeah.
You know, because I was conducting electricity and thank God. But yeah, I just remember it was very, it seemed like there were some safety issues, I would say.
Yeah,
probably.
yeah, it sounds like it. Yeah, I've definitely run into a few live rides before. Yeah, especially during rain.
Has that happened?
Yeah, it's happened to me.
Okay.
Yep.
So that's a real thing.
Yep.
Because I know my whole life, I was like, I know this happened, man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how does that happen?
Because there's so much wiring going on in those things, like all the lights and everywhere. And back then too, you know, now with LEDs, they don't take as much, but back then you had those really hot lights and they took a lot more power. And so you got bigger currents running through and something could just get cut or pinched somewhere along the line. And next thing you know, you're making that live.
Damn. God. Yeah, that thing really caught me up to speed, boy. I fucking aged probably 8 months. I went home. My mother's like, God, you seem different, you know?
Hey, Ma, you already grew a mustache from it.
Yeah. I was like, things are going to change around here. Yeah.